Hey, how's it going? My name is Kayvon Benson. My fellow group mates are Lizzie Smoot, Brian Alexander, and Logan Hornback. In this presentation, we will present a summary of our database for our hypothetical company called LawnForce. LawnForce is a third-party online platform that connects lawn care and landscaping companies with consumers looking for their expertise. We also manage and maintain relationships between different landscaping and lawn care service providers. LawnForce provides the essential marketing and connection for those providers based off their strengths and expertise to better optimize their day-to-day operations. Our database supports a plethora of business processes for LawnForce. The first and most notable is marketing. For both potential customers and unpartnered providers, the database should show a planned strategy and marketing position that is beneficial to all parties and will help with the marketing of LawnForce to them. Also, workforce management is another core process that is supported by our database. Our database can be used to properly manage operations for our partner providers. They can also perform duties like filling out forms, performing queries, and generating reports. Customer relationship management is also supported. Communication with customers is perhaps one of the biggest things for providers. Database users will have the ability to better communicate from the use of the previously stated tools that our database offers. Lastly, staying on the theme of management, the last business process our database supports is human resource management. There is more to operations than just providing a service. The employees are also a huge important factor. Managing the entire company and having the relevant information of employees easily accessible will allow management to better track personnel. We provide customer service reps and IT personnel, so users of our database will be able to optimize the efficiency of the human resource department within LawnForce.
LawnForce's database was built in Microsoft Access. It contains 6 tables, mostly with data on customers, employees, landscape partners, and service items. But there are other tables that exist as associations, such as the Associated Pairs table and the salary and wage employee subclasses. We currently have 3 forms and 4 reports, which will be discussed in the next sections. For now, however, I'd like to demonstrate queries for the LawnForce database. We have several queries already produced that pull records for the business processes previously mentioned, like marketing purposes, customer service and promotions, and relevant employee information. For example, our 2+ year employees query pulls records for all employees that have been with the company for over 2 years. And this is used to reward loyalty within the company. Whenever there's a need to query the database for information, Access makes it easy to do so with their query design tool. For this simple query, if we want to see how these records were pulled, we can change the view of the query. To do this, we go up to Views and choose Design View. This shows the table that the records are being pulled from at the top, and then at the bottom we see the fields, the table, and the criteria used to query the database. This can also be seen in SQL statements if we choose SQL View at the top. Here, we can see the actual query syntax that is processed by the system to pull these records. More complex queries, like join queries, work in a similar way. For the springtime service levels query you see here, LawnForce wanted data on the service levels of each appointment that was made during the spring months of 2020 and where they were performed. This was done for marketing purposes for the spring 2021 season. By going to Design View, we can see that 2 tables, customers and service items, were joined to pull the relevant records and fields. This join is possible because the tables in the LawnForce database are related through a common key. The customer ID field, which is the primary key for the customers table, acts as a foreign key for the service items table. This shared attribute creates a link as shown by the line that connects the 2 tables. Similarly, we can see there are now 2 table names at the bottom. customers, and service items. By going to SQL View, we can see that this relationship is represented by inner joins on customer ID from both tables.
Hi, my name is Logan Hornbeck, and I'll be talking to you about the forms today. We have 3 forms, and it's going to be the new hire form, it's going to be the new customer sign-up form, and then we're going to be the partner onboarding form. Most of the forms are born of the same need, which is to add new information to the database. In this case, on the business side, there are new customers that sign up with the company, and less frequently, new contracted landscape partners. For internal business processes, LawnForce also needs to be able to add new employee information to the employees table to track payroll, emergency contacts, etc. The first form I would like to talk to you about is the new hire form. This form adds the needed information to all fields within the employees table. There isn't too much information that can be automated here, though if we had a table of cities by zip code, someone entering data could be saved a bit of time by typing in the zip and have it automatically populate the city as opposed to type in the city name, in which opens up the possibility for typos, which can cause issues when querying the geospatial data. Alternatively, a drop down could be used to help validate the data, but this is a lot of cities to choose from, and likely is not an improvement to the data input experience. The second form I would like to talk to you about is going to be the new customer sign-up form. With effective marketing and sales teams, another form the business would be using frequently is a new customer sign-up form. This captures a customer service address as well as billing information, name, etc. All of the basic information you're going to need for new customers. As previously mentioned, a table could later be added to help with auto-populating the city field, but here we use a drop-down box to collect data, validated entries regarding the referral type.
The final and last form I would like to talk to you about today is going to be a partner onboarding form. Will likely be the least used form, but just as important as the others. This form would be used when we sign on a new contracted landscape partner. Like the customer form, we would require sensitive financial information in the forms of the business routing and account numbers so that we could pay them for the services rendered to the end customers. This form contains every field needed to populate a new entry on the partners table, which would complete the onboarding process, at least from a technical standpoint.
Hi, this is Brian Alexander, and I'll be going over the reports for our LawnForce database project. Our first report is the Customer Distribution by Partner report. And basically what this does is list out our various landscaping partners. So these are kind of like the contracted organizations that we use to perform the actual work for our various customers. And then this report will actually split it down into a active or inactive status as well. So this would just kind of give us a quick overview into maybe the health of the service that's being provided by a given landscape partner here. So we may see something like here, landscape partner number 5005, as compared to their active customers, has kind of a large number of inactive customers as well. So that may be something for us to investigate. Our second report here is not really like data or analytics driven, but is a very practical employee contact directory report. So you would simply be able to look up the department ID or manager ID number here to see everybody that is in that department or works for that manager, and then that would give you access to their phone number and their email, just to make it a little easier to contact people within the organization. The third report is the service levels by region report. Now, in a real company, these may be a little more easier to understand. I just very simply took the service address zip codes and blocked them off into thousands. Of course, that would make a whole lot of sense. Normally, these might be in a table that say, these zips are, region A or Southwest, etc. But this would allow them to go in by region, and maybe a salesperson could see that, hey, there's an awful lot of people with just the basic service package. Maybe we could run a special in this area for slightly lower prices to get them to bump up to maybe the service level 2 or 3. And then finally, our fourth report is a little bit off scope, but it was made in Excel. So it is a pivot table here of just biweekly employee pay, again by department or manager in this case. So we see here, this looks at the table, the employee table. It then references itself to see who the managed employee is, and then just sums up based on the wages and salary table, breaks that down as needed and shows what the biweekly sum would be. So managers could approve this and then go ahead and submit it to payroll to get those paychecks cut and make their employees happy.